so excited with the reception so far. You guys have been so nice about it. We're obviously going to play some songs for you tonight. We're going to tell some stories and answer some questions. But first, why don't we just jump right into the first one, right?
Let's do it.
Let's just go ahead.
Here I am, better nix my summer plans. Bummer, let's give it cheap, 'cause you're only going up for me. This month I got 7 haircuts, and now my hair is all gone. It's sad, but I've been alone for too long, so I keep getting haircuts. It's my all-time low, and I just can't wait. 'Cause the quicker I'm there, is the quicker I'll see. Bummer, let's, here I am, better nix my summer plans. Bummer, let's give it cheap, 'cause you're only going up for me. Bummer, let's, here I am, better nix my summer plans. Bummer, let's, sorry dear, but you're only going up for me. My friends always pay for my drinks. I can't afford no nice things, but I hope my bank account gets so low, even zero. So next year, when I buy that first beer, I'll be a goddamn hero. It's my all-time low, and I just can't wait. 'Cause the quicker I'm there, is the quicker I'll say. Bummer, let's, here I am, better nix my summer plans. Bummer, let's, sorry dear, but you're only going up for me. Bummer, let's, here I am, better nix my summer plans. Bummer, let's give it cheap, 'cause you're only going up for me. Bummer, let's, here I am, and there ain't no funny lands. Bummer, let's, it's kinda weird, but you're only going up for me.
Woo!
Thank you.
There's some crew here in the room, and we asked them all to applaud, so it wasn't
Why
just
did you tell them that? It was supposed to be like, wow, there's people here that actually like the music?
Oh, sorry.
That's what it was supposed to
Everyone
be.
came.
But they all came. Yeah, like I said, we're probably going to be answering some questions, right?
Yeah, it's not actually that I'm just on my phone while we're in the middle
That's,
of the live
I'm
stream.
glad you explained that. That would have been really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adam, do you want to give some questions? We'll hopefully give you a little bit of an insight into what it was like to make this album. Give you some of the nice moments, right?
I like this one. Was this album therapeutic to make?
Oh yeah, probably the most out of any of the albums we've made so far, and it's because we had to do something really weird on this one, and it's because we wrote it in the pandemic. And you know, I've said this before, but what Ryan and I do when we look for inspiration for writing is we go outside and we go to movies and we we go to parties. That in college we went to a lot of parties to see what people were feeling and liking to dance to, and obviously this year we couldn't do any of that, so your brain kind of has to go somewhere, you know, when there's nothing to focus on. And where it went was into the deepest, insecurities that we have, and went way back to like 8th grade when you said that weird thing to a girl, and you're wondering, oh my God, does she still hate me for it? So we really dug very deep into our emotions for this album, and for that reason, it was very therapeutic because we got it out in the open, and that's what therapy is all about. So.
I think also it really helped to have a purpose during this pandemic. That was the thing that really saved us from every day being exactly the same. It was like, okay, we have a purpose today. If we wrote something that we're really proud of, we could put our stamp on today and say we're proud of this.
Totally, yeah.
A bunch of people want to know, since we didn't do an overture for Neo Theater, why did we decide to do an overture for this album?
Oh, good question.
Good question.
I think, at what point did we come up with for Neo Theater? Your eyes are, was it like later in the process?
I thought it was earlier on.
Oh, was it?
It was definitely before because in the process, and this is right where Don't Throw Out My Legos was, we had started at our parents' house writing the album in their living room, and then we moved out and went to college, and then we finished the rest of the album there and on the road, and I think we wrote a couple of songs in the living room, and I think Next Up Forever was one of them. Remember?
Yeah. At what point did we know that was going to be the start of the album, though?
I think pretty quick. I think pretty quick.
I have such a bad memory.
Yeah, because we knew that the old Disney choir was going to be like the theme of the album, so we knew that was going to start it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And honestly, it's so weird that we could talk about it now, but these are our drums, and the instruments morphing, that came from something. 8 years ago, we had some idea, and we kind of attempted it.
You have such a bad sense of time. It definitely wasn't. It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Really?
You've been having a really bad sense of years. You've been doubling and tripling everything.
I remember I had my lunchbox.
Oh, it was like a 5th grade.
My Spider-Man lunchbox.
This is my lunch.
Yeah. And this is the album. At some point, a long time ago, we came up with this concept of instruments morphing, and we knew it was a cool sonic concept, but the trouble was, how do we tie it into an album and actually make it something important the way we did with like the idea of a metronome is cool, but like tying it into, should I follow the click in my ear, or should I go for more clicks this year? That's what kind of made it important and really necessary for the album. So we needed that thing, and we had these are our drums and the storytelling, Peter and the Wolf aspect of it for Neo Theater, right? Mm-hmm. During Neo Theater, and we decided no, this isn't good for Neo Theater. This is how we start our next album. So that was actually the first thing we knew about this album going into it.
A bunch of people are talking about the fact that we mentioned that, on the last album, Karma was the song that we looked at and kind of zoomed into to make this whole album. And a bunch of people are asking if World's Smallest Violin is kind of the continuation of Karma, or if there's another song that's the continuation of Karma.
Why World's Smallest Violin?
Well, I think because the ending piece, it feels,
It's similar structure, and we talk about therapy. I bored my therapist.
Oh.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's actually, you know what? That's actually really interesting because they are similar, even in more ways. Karma's obviously about, I've done everything. They're both a little bit of, selfish songs. And I say selfish, with quotes. But,
interesting.
Because karma, right? It's like saying, I've done everything right. Now, why isn't it going well for me? And that's not selfish, but it's, it's really focused on yourself and what you want.
Oh,
and,
I see. Inward-facing song.
Yeah, inward-facing. And World's Smallest Violin, sort of the same idea. It's obviously other people have problems, but that doesn't mean my problems are going to go away. I need someone to talk to about them. So I guess I could see them on the same level there. And that's funny. I guess the answer is no, because we're just realizing that they're similar now.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one more before we play another song?
Sure.
What is the inspiration for the cover art?
Oh, nice.
That was
all Ryan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what was the inspiration. No, I mean, you came up with the colorful and
I was
black
waiting.
and white.
It wasn't all Ryan. I was waiting. That was actually a test to see if you would take the lie compliment.
Man.
Yep, no, it was, It was both of us.
Yeah, it was, Jack came up with the colorful and black and white thing, and then we had our characters, the ceramic dolls, and then, I don't know, it's like we came up with every album. It's just kind of like talking back and forth and thinking, what does this album look like to us? And I think we both thought, like, a lot of auburn, like reds and oranges, like that's what feels like this album.
Should we do another song?
Let's do it. Let's do a song that was just released. What do you think about that? That hasn't been out for a while.
This is weird.
This is weird. This is the first time we've ever played this in any live situation. And it's a song that's gotten very cool reception so far. This might be the fan favorite so far.
The initial fan
favorite.
I have some theories that some others are going to stick out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to say which one, but I have a theory that like the first listen of a certain song is going to be like, oh, what is this? And then later it's going to pop up.
I think this album especially
yeah.
is stuff that's going to happen.
I think so, yeah.
All right, let's jump into this one. This is a song called 3 O'Clock Things.
longest count-off ever, Chris. And 3.
That was good. Let's do that. Let's do it again.
Come on, guy. I promise everything will be alright. Be okay. Your eyes are tired, but keep them open because you wouldn't want to miss a thing.
Come on, guy. I promise everything will be alright. Be okay. Your eyes are tired, but keep them up because you wouldn't want to miss a thing.
It's kinda funny how I paid for college when you two was an option. But then I would have had to spend my best year skipping ads and reading comments. And when the hell did advertisements get so good? They're like narcotics. So now I'm spending every penny I own. I should have allotted to finishing college. Hey. It's kinda funny how I keep debating if someone's shy or if they hate me. I feel like everyone I know right now is hooking up and getting wasted. And maybe sex is overrated, but we're too shy to ever say it. So we pretend we're all amazing. It's 3 a.m. I should be sleeping. Would you go running if you saw the real me? Maybe you'd love them, yeah, maybe you'd feel me. But I'll never ask you, no, that's super scary. You're sorry to bear, it's already 3 o'clock. It's too hard to tell if anything's real or not. It's kinda funny how you vote for someone, to vote for someone, to vote for someone. And you might end up with someone evil, but you say that he means well. If I keep on talking politics, my friends will dim, they're over it. If I keep on talking politics, I'm Hamilton without the hits. Would you go running if you saw the real me? Maybe you'd love them, and maybe you'd feel me. But I'll never ask you, no, that's super scary. But sorry to bear, it's already 3 o'clock. It's too hard to tell if anything's real or not.
Come on, guy. I promise everything will be alright. Be okay. Your eyes are tired, but keep them up because you wouldn't want to miss a thing.
Isn't this obvious? Am I insane? Let's blame our parents, cause they taught us their ways. Stay out of politics, stay on the fence. Stay out of all of it to keep up your fence. Isn't this obvious? Am I insane? There might be 2 sides to everything that you say. It's all a bit cloudy, but there's one thing I know, that if you're fucking racist, then don't come to my show.
No, we should do one more.
Hey!
There's that cheer.
Thank you. That went well.
Yeah, wow. I feel like we have a pass now for the rest of this. Like, we can
Oh,
rest now.
finally.
Okay.
Arnett is like, I did everything right.
And I plan to do the rest right as well.
She's like, I'm doing everything right.
Okay, just a random one.
Go for it.
Favorite insects.
Oh, we're doing those kinds of questions, too, that have nothing to do with the album.
It was just the first thing I saw.
Oh, okay, favorite insect. Ryan's favorite is the stick bug because he most closely resembles one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jack's favorite is the caterpillar because he hasn't bloomed yet.
Adam's favorite.
Is from Bug's Life, the big jelly one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like the bookworm from the Toy Story,
Oh,
from Toy Story
that's
3
good
because
too.
he's very well read. You get a compliment.
Is there going to be a Turning Out Part 3, and why isn't there a Turning Out Part 3 on this album?
God, this is something that we struggle with because now we're in the habit of like, we have these traditions of overtures and Turning Out Part 2. We have to trust our gut. I think that's like what we've learned, that we see a lot of tweets of like, oh, I hope this is on it, I hope this is on it. And it's not really our job, I think, to like give people exactly what they're asking for. It's our job to write the best song that we know we can write at this moment. And so it was definitely our plan going into the album to do a Turning Out Part 3. We thought, oh, that'd be such a great trilogy. Just didn't come.
You even began to write one, too.
And it was good, but it just...
I remember you sent it to me, and I said... Because you can't force it. That's the kind of thing that's... Like I said, you can't force it. It has to be happening in the moment in your life. There has to be something to write about.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of thing where you can search for the concept. It's the kind of thing
whether it's good or bad. Like, it has to be actually happening to you. You can't...
Right, yeah. So Ryan, I remember, sent it to me, and I honestly think I said something like, this is a great song. It was a great song that we'll probably end up using at some point for something else, but it's not... Like, this doesn't feel like a good 3. This doesn't feel like a real authentic 3 compared to the first 2.
Yeah. So that was an important lesson to learn. Just today, what are we in the mood to write? And let's write that.
I've asked you this question before, but a couple people are asking it. Speaking of 3, why are there so many references to 3, both on this album and previous albums? I think they just need to know.
I feel like that's something that they're not going to know, because I feel like that's something that we shouldn't tell them. I feel like that's like a nice... well-kept thing between us. What do you think?
I
feel like there should remain some things that are, unsaid. I mean, what Adam's saying is there's 3 a.m., 3:30, and now there's 3 o'clock things.
And there's a reference to 3.
3:30 and way less.
3. So that's our own little secret that you guys can decide for yourself what it means. Please go ahead. Maybe you'll get it right.
Blue Man Group. How did that come about, and why is that the only feature on the album?
In terms of features... Well, we don't have many features on our songs. Obviously, the only other one that we've done is Rivers Cuomo in terms of us featuring an artist. Am I right? Or am I forgetting?
Oh, Ingrid Michaelson. I guess we
were featured on hers. Yeah, in terms of artists that we feature. And we think it's really cool to do really unexpected artists. I think Rivers Cuomo was not expected at all. I think even he was a little bit surprised that he ended up on our song. His initial reaction was no, and we sort of convinced him to get on it. And I think the fans were really surprised when they saw that name, because I think that it's not the most exciting thing to open an album, and because the features are so exciting, and to see someone, it's like, oh, that works, that fits. I feel like it kind of ruins the excitement of that.
Yeah, like if you can imagine what the feature is going to sound like before the album comes out, that's what we wanted to avoid, right?
Because it's such a cool thing when a totally new voice or new sound comes on, and then we thought that Blue Man Group would be literally the least predictable thing you could find. And at the same time, we are just absolute massive fans of them. We've seen the show a couple times in New York, and we've based a lot of our live show off of the energy that they have on stage. There's a crazy unpredictability that they have on stage. You have no idea what's coming next if any of you have seen them live. It's such a fun time. And music-wise, they're just constantly captivate you. When you're watching, and we thought that they would just do such a great job, and they did such a good job. I've seen people's reactions so far of just like, they don't even know how to move to it. It's just so heavy.
But how do they end up moving to it?
It's miraculously, it's like, they can't even control their body. It's just so side to side, and their eyes wide open. They can't get out of it.
2 more questions, and then let's do another song. Who sang the female part on The Trick?
Oh.
Oh, I like that.
I like that a lot.
I'm trying to think, should we reveal it?
Yeah, what? I think that...
Yeah. Oh, I think we reveal it in the Zach Sang, right?
Oh. Whoa. Should we keep it secret then?
Keep it secret.
Oh, let's give him the exclusive. Yeah, that will be answered at some point, I promise. But it's a very interesting process that went into that.
Last question. This one is specifically for Jack. Why is Adam wearing shorts?
Let's see. I wanted to make a leg waxing joke, but it seems like that didn't happen. So it seems like they're just as hairy as they were yesterday. It's actually very warm outside in New York. It hit 80 degrees today, so Adam had to let those things breathe from a long winter of hibernation.
Next one.
A couple laughs I got out there. Maybe that was Ezra, I don't know.
You're killing it out there.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, let's do the next one. Yeah, do it like a really long count off, Chris.
Hey, hey, hey! There's LA, but it's always kinda sunny out, and I don't wanna hurt no more. So I set my bar real low. I'm okay, I'm okay. You say it, but you just don't mean it. You're so insane, you're so insane. Shut up and just enjoy this feeling. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. But I'm way less sad. But I'm way less sad. I wake up and I'm not so mad at Twitter now. Living sucks, but it's sucking just a little now, and I don't wanna cry no more. So I set my bar real low. I'm okay, I'm okay. You say it, but you just don't mean it. You're so insane, you're so insane. Shut up and just enjoy this feeling. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. I may be wrong, I may be wrong. It's stupid, but it's all I have. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. Well, I can't fall asleep and I'm losing my mind, 'cause it's 3:30 and my brain's on fire. I've been counting sheep, but the sheep all died, and I'm trying too hard, but I can't not try. Well, I can't fall asleep and I'm losing my mind, 'cause it's 3:30 and my brain's on fire. I've been counting sheep, but the sheep all died, and I'm not dead yet, so I guess I'll be alright. Love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad. I may be wrong, I may be wrong. It's stupid, but it's all I have. Don't you love it, don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet, but I'm way less sad.
I like that blackout. Have we been doing that blackout every
I don't
time?
think so. That was great. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Do we have
Oh,
more
should we do questions? Yeah, yeah.
So many new ones. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The inspiration for Humpty Dumpty.
What was the process of that? That started with...
That was one of the earliest songs for the album. And
Yep.
then we took the break from it and then came back.
Yeah, that was just a melody I think I had in my voice notes, right? Dum dun 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 dun.
You had like,
dun,
I keep running and I keep
yeah,
running,
well,
something like
always
that.
when we do melodies, it's rarely ever like la 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 la. We always just we say the first words that come to our mind, and that's what we record. And it's so dangerous because when we start writing and when we know it is a good melody, we try to do it around those words. So
Yeah.
I had something like I keep running and I keep running, and then we started okay, like how can we I keep running, and then we always have to remind ourselves no. Get rid of the words, start from scratch, and
Yeah.
it's a dangerous hole to fall into, right?
That's right. And then what
I
was
think
the-
that you liked the melody, and you said, I think you got out of the headspace. I was still in it. I was still trying to
Yeah.
think of lyrics, and I remember Ryan texting me one day, have an idea for a song, Humpty Dumpty, and he sang me the chorus with that melody, and it was so good. It was I was really blown away. I think it was one of the best melodies the best choruses that you've ever written lyrics-wise.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was so smart. And
then we just lived with the chorus for a while, and we had a lot of trouble creating the rest of the song around it.
it was
that
kind of
lived
the
up to it.
beats of this album in terms of how many iterations it went through, how long it took to really kind of nail it down. There was a completely other version that we had starting out
That's
with
right.
it with new verse, new production, everything, and then we sat down one day and did the other really hard thing to do in an album, which is rewrite a song completely with keeping a chorus or with keeping a verse. because you have to get those old melodies out of your head, and it's such a difficult thing to do, especially when you've lived with something, even if you don't like it, for such a long time.
And a little glimpse into songwriting. This chorus of Humpty Dumpty encompasses the entire song within the chorus, so we have trouble with choruses like that. And Weak was the same thing for us. I'm weak, and what's wrong with that? Boy, oh boy, I love it when I fall for that. There's no other information you need to know to understand the concept of the song.
So what else do we say? We don't want to write something that's redundant.
Yeah, that's just repeating the same idea. So those are kind of the hardest songs to write, where it's like, we already gave the setup, the punchline, everything. Yeah. What else do we say? And that's why Humpty Dumpty was hard.
Nice. Good number.
The strangest sound, like from our house, that you put on the album that turned into some piece of the production?
This wasn't in our house, but we sampled a young Irish boy doing a voice lesson off of YouTube.
We did?
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that one.
No, actually, I went to record him.
Ah, that's what you were doing that day.
What?
That's what you were doing that day.
Maybe I shouldn't say the song, but for one of the songs.
Yeah.
And
you don't want that Irish boy's going to be watching. That's me,
No, you could do a better Irish accent than that.
Oh. That's the me. Right? That's closer.
Me.
That's me.
He was like a young soprano, and he was like doing a voice lesson, and I ended up taking it and cutting it up and then multiplying him so it sounded like 20 young Irish boys.
Wow.
And it created the drop of one of the songs.
Socks. And
I know which one it is now. I had to think for a sec.
Socks and Adventure is out there. What happened? What happened with that?
The story is that we had written a song called Socks for Neo Theater, and it was that one song that almost made it on the album, and for some reason we were listening through the entire track list, and it just felt like it didn't quite belong there. I'm not sure why. Can you even articulate that?
It felt... I can't. It just, we got a feeling.
Honestly, I think it felt like the album was fine enough without it. It said what we needed to say, and we just didn't need an extra song.
Yeah.
But we always love the song, and it's a lot of people, like close friends' favorites. And what happened was we forgot about it, and we were kind of nearing the end of this one, right? And we had, I think, one or two more songs left to write.
And we were like, we have to write one more. The album needs one more song, and it needs a free-flowing one where you don't need to think that hard. Like, we know aesthetically it needs it. And then we
had already written a lot of 3 o'clock things. We had written.
Yeah.
We had written Joe. We had written,
the more cerebral ones.
The trick.
Yeah, exactly. And then we remembered we had Socks, and we just kind of opened it up and blew it up. And the only thing we kept from Socks were the verses, the story about the socks. Then we wrote this whole new chorus that felt like First Aid Kit, like just Americana music.
So exciting. Yeah.
And that was really fun.
Yeah.
And the biggest moment of that song was this. What, the instrument?
Oh, the banjolele.
Yeah, what?
I thought you were about to do something like a cartwheel or something. I don't know what you were about to do.
It was this. This is Alba, Jack's girlfriend's banjolele. We decided to put this on, and as soon as we got that... As soon as we
transformed got that, it. Sometimes one instrument will just do that, and it's like, wait a sec, that's a different kind of song.
Now this has to make
And then
the
Ryan sang it. And because the first time that Ryan sang me the Socks demo, it was him, obviously, singing, because he had written the original version. And I ended up recording my voice, and it was kind of like what happened with Turning Out Part 2, where I had sang it, and then we realized it just didn't work. Nothing sounded as good as the original iPhone demo. Same thing happened with Socks, and then we realized this time around, Ryan has to get the take. And it's just so much better.
Yeah, thank you. This is the perfect segue into this song.
I was going to say, the next question was, who is singing in Adventure is Out There? So you answered the question, let's play Adventure is Out There.
Let's show you.
You want to know who's singing?
Here they are.
Here
Ready?
we are.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I keep losing my socks. Where the hell do they go? I bet they're finally free. is out there.
Adventure is out there.
So why am I in here?
So why am I in here today? I bought me some new socks. I won't lose them, I'm sure. But someday, hopefully, I'll slip away and they'll lose me. And I'll be seeing the world.
Holy moly, it's a real do nothing day. I could change your dress and try another stay. I could change my name, you won't do anything. Adventure is out there,
Adventure is out there.
so why am I in here?
So why am I in here?
Why am I in here today?
No blackout on that one. Oh,
There we go. Thank you.
Every time I look back, there are like 1,000 more questions.
Let's go through some more. Let's
Okay.
dig a little deeper.
Random. Does this album connect to the previous albums at all? Actually, that's not that random, but I just picked a
That's
random
actually a
one that I
really
saw.
justified question.
Yeah, I think we have thought about this in the trilogy of the Click, Neo Theater, and OK Orchestra. I don't know what's going to come next, but I feel like we're going to probably change paths a little bit. But yeah, I think the Click was very much like these teenage problems that we had, and Neo Theater was kind of your early 20s, and now it's like, oh, this is when like shit really gets serious. This kind of album, and it feels like it works in 3.
No, totally.
People want us to introduce the other people on stage with us.
Let's do it. Ryan, do you want the honors? Or
Give
Adam,
the
do you
people
want
what
the
they
honors?
want.
Go for it, Ryan.
Oh, my God.
Right? I have nothing planned. Right here we got Chris Berry. Let's get a nice close-up. Over here we got Arnetta Johnson on trumpet.
You going to take 45 minutes to come back like you did? All right, Adam, keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, this one's interesting. Who do you run your music by for opinions before you put it out?
Love that. Great. I don't think we've ever gotten that question before. That's a great question.
We have
We
a
have
pretty small circle.
It is very small. So
Right?
that's
We don't
why
send it to random friends. Really.
No, we don't
Right?
send it to random friends. You sent Joe to Joe and said,
I literally
"What do you
didn't.
think?"
That emoji, just the...
And then you said, "You mad?" The letter U and then MAD question mark.
I did not. Oh, let me talk about Joe. Is this a good?
Well, no.
chance
Let's
to
answer
talk
the
about
question
Joe?
first.
Okay.
Let's answer the question.
I need this platform.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. There's a few people. We have our manager is Steve Greenberg. He has, he's been the one. He signed us for I'm Ready, and so he's had. He's been so supportive and had the greatest ear for our music since we first met him, and so I think he's one of the first people we send it to. Also, there's obviously our dad is one of the first people we send it to. We obviously sent to Adam right away. I think our girlfriends and maybe one or two friends.
Yeah.
I have
People in our crew too.
Oh yeah, obviously our crew. I have a friend or two that are actually like real fans of our music, so it's actually really cool to send music to, as if you're sending it to a random, someone on Twitter or something to get their feedback. It's really cool to have friends like that. So they give me real honest feedback and tell me exactly what they like. So, but outside of honestly 8 or 9 people, no one really hears it before it comes out.
Yeah, I feel like if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, you start getting like a lot of opinions, and then it dilutes.
You start
down.
doubting yourself. You're
Yeah,
like,
that
wait,
too.
they're all saying. I guess I know as much as them, or I guess I don't know anything compared to.
Yeah, you
it's
gotta trust your own.
trust.
You gotta trust your own heart.
All right, now you could talk about
Joe.
Joe.
There you go.
Yeah, so Adam told me this morning on YouTube, it was like cancel Joe, which I don't like at all. Yeah, fans, please don't reach out to Joe in any way. But honestly, it's funny. The song, we really wrote it about somebody that I like admired a lot. it was very much not like, oh, he's this bully, he's this piece of shit. It was very much like, wow, I have so much, that I wanted to be of him. And I haven't talked to him
that's not what a bully. That's not what a bully is. I don't think we'd ever write a song about a bully saying like, "Screw you, look where
what I
am
did." That's
now.
kind of a boring concept
that
for a
feels a
song.
little boring to us. Because I think that the first time that was another one that was Ryan started that one by himself. He's like, I had this really cool idea, and it was really honest. And I was listening to it, being like, God, I 100% have a Joe, in my life, and I also know that I've probably been a Joe to someone. And it's kind of like the How I Met Your Mother episode, where everyone's on everyone else's hook.
Oh, yeah.
Ted is on the girl's hook, who's on the guy's hook, and there's just this chain that kind of keeps going, and that's what's really interesting, I found, about the song.
Totally. And we thought that's what was so interesting, that here we are 10 years later. Why in the world am I still thinking about this person? I feel like everybody has that version.
It's this irrational love and admiration that you're just not sure why, but you just need to get to them. It's a very cool idea for a song.
But yeah, please don't cancel Joe.
Yeah.
What was the worst part about creating this album?
That's a great question.
Oh.
This was by far, I think, the hardest album to make.
I think the hardest part was in the beginning, because we were supposed to tour like nonstop this year, and
that meeting.
Oh yeah, we had a
meeting. Yeah.
with our managers, where they were like,
the AC
hey,
was off too. It was a hot day too. It was like, oh my God, COVID coming in.
Were there snacks?
COVID was down Fifth Avenue. You could see it coming.
Oh wow.
It was.
But they brought like snacks or something.
There was no snacks. There was barely water.
Oh,
It was.
Wow.
It was
bad meeting.
Dreadful meeting.
But they said like this is a realistic plan. You may have to cancel everything this year, and do you guys want to spend this year working on something or doing nothing? And we decided, we need to do something with this year. So the beginning was the hardest, because we didn't initially have an idea of like, oh, these are the 13 songs we want to write.
And just going off what you're saying, the last two albums, the Click and Neo Theater, specifically Neo Theater, we had gone on tour for the Click, and I think at the end of the Click tour, we said, I cannot wait to get back to start this Neo Theater album. I have so many ideas. I can't wait to just do a change up. And so you need time to prepare for an album, especially when there's only 2 or 3 people writing it, and you don't have a million co-writers. So you really got to get hyped with ideas and excitement and need that rest. And we were really looking forward to touring. We had the opposite state of mind, so we were kind of like forced right into it.
And the first bunch of songs we wrote for the album were really bad. They were like the ones that didn't make the album.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the 3 after Bang.
Yeah, and I think there were like 2 or 3 those were the 2 or 3 we got rid of.
Yeah, because we just weren't in the mindset.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gotten into an argument over a song? You guys have gotten into arguments over who wrote which piece. Of which
How's it go again? I wrote How's It Go Again.
Yeah, I remember when I wrote How's It Go Again? And then Jack was like, how about
you
How's
weren't
It
at
Go
a piano.
Again?
You were far. You might have been out of the city. Honestly, you were so far away when I came up with that.
I don't know if we had arguments.
No, arguments are the wrong word. We have debates. You thought I was going to say debaby, right? That's like
no.
I thought I was going to say it. I was about to say it. That's become a lot more of a common word these days than debates.
We have debabies.
Yeah. No, we have had pretty strong-willed debates of like, I promise you this is the more emotional lyric. No, this is the melody. Go here.
Do you remember any?
You know what? Why am I in here today was a brief argument with that Ryan one. He had that melody, and I thought we shouldn't change up the melody, and he was 100% right. That melody was way better. So if there is a debate, it usually lasts, a couple listens, and it's like, okay, I get it.
And usually it ends in a compromise, honestly. Joe it took a while, because when you first heard Joe, you weren't sure. You were like, I know this is relatable, but this doesn't sound like a song I can dance to.
We ended up rewriting Joe in a small way, and then something just clicked. He was like, that's it. I kept saying for months, because we had the demo, and I kept saying, these lyrics are like there, but they're like 80% of being on someone's hook, and the other 20% is like, not quite it. And then we went out on a scooter ride, and we were like, no, and I think we wrote the line, I still use your jokes, and they go great. Like, you still haven't even developed your own personality yet, because you're still so infatuated with this person.
Yeah.
And then we closed that gap. But definitely no arguments, just like honestly fun debates.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple more before we play the last song, but this one is a guest question. So many people want to know what Gary's favorite song on the album is.
Oh.
He's actually here, so he can just like yell it to us.
Yeah.
Dad? Oh.
He said my play.
He said it angrily.
Yeah.
He said,
wow.
My play.
My play.
That's probably the loudest our dad has spoken in 55 years. I don't know, maybe.
This is an interesting one. If COVID hadn't happened, how do you think the tone of the album would be different?
Oh, it's so hard to know.
How would you know?
Next.
No, it's just a thinker.
Probably happier songs in the most basic level. Or no? I don't know.
I don't even know how to begin answering that question. It's like telling the future. What's going to happen next year? I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, there's just no way to tell.
Sorry.
Sorry to that person.
We have more
And then it cuts to the alternate universe, versions of us where and then that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any other songs on this album that are continuations of other previous songs?
Yeah. Christmas in June
is
sort of a Come Hang Out Part 2 kind of thing. The concept of Come Hang Out obviously was you kind of giving up the great moments in your childhood and in your college years to pursue your dream. Missing the parties and missing, hanging out with friends and all those great memories. But no, I have the show in wherever, in Florida, and I got to go to that. And Christmas in June was sort of the more three-dimensional adult version of it because we made it about a relationship. Basically, when you get to an older place in life and you found someone and you also have a passion, you love two things. You love your partner and you love what you do, and it's not so obvious which kind of comes first on any given day.
Yeah, because most of the time the moral of movies are like, I chose family over work,
right.
And that's like technically the right choice, but it's not that easy.
But it's
like
not that.
Really
it's just
difficult.
not that realistic in terms of a mindset.
Yeah.
Everyone has has that thought of, wait, this is my big break. This is my wedding day. I'm not going to follow my dream. If I don't go there, I won't have my dreams. If I don't, I'm not going to get married here. And it's that interesting. We don't even like choose one in the song. It's just the interesting thought process that you have when that comes up. So that's sort of relates to Come Hang Out. It's just a bit more of an adult version of it.
Want to do one more question, Adam?
Yeah, and it actually leads in nicely to our last song.
Here we go.
So when you have a song like Bang that gets so big...
It might be a long question.
Yeah,
you want to keep that going?
Really,
you want to keep that going?
Answer it, too.
No, I thought this could be the soundtrack to answering it.
But it's going to be long.
It's going to be very long.
They're not going to want to hear the song after they've heard that piano.
I'll come in later.
Okay, cool.
When you have a song like Bang that gets so big, how do you then write a whole album around it if that wasn't like the intention or direction that you were going in anyway?
That's a great question. The story behind that was obviously we wrote Bang, and that was going to be on Neo Theater Deluxe. And we realized that, oh my God, this is so different. This is so new. And this is a song that AJR has definitely not written before.
Darker than anything.
A lot darker. And we said, okay, no, this definitely sounds like the new era of AJR. So we said, this is going to be the first song for the new album. And we really predicted that the rest of the album would have a lot of these tones. A lot of a darker tone.
Yeah.
Brassy, like a dark musical theater. And then we realized pretty quickly you cannot plan what an album, or at least an AJR album, will sound like sonically before you write it. That's just kind of like trying to write a song around those lyrics.
Yeah.
You're just going to make something that you weren't that excited about making, because you're forcing something. So we quickly said, Bang obviously fits in the lyrical worlds of OK Orchestra in terms of, that fine line between being an immature kid and having to be an adult. But, we don't have to, make the rest of the album sound like that, as the rest of the AJR albums have shown. There aren't really two songs that are like, oh, wow, these two are from the same album. I think there's a pretty good breadth of sound.
And it's just like a more theoretical feeling that you get. Like, this feels like a Neo Theater song as opposed to this sounds like a Neo Theater song.
Yeah. So not a lot of thought went into that, actually. We abandoned it right away.
So before we play the last song, I think we just want to say thank you to you guys because we've been looking at all the comments. They are insane.
This is not a thank you song. This is not a thank you line. Maybe way less sad. I'm not sure Bang is, but there we go.
Thank you guys. One of our favorite things to do in the world is tour, and obviously we haven't been able to do that. But as Ryan and Jack were writing this album, they conceptualized a lot of the live on stage aspects of what this album might look like, and we might or might not be making an announcement about this on Wednesday. So come back on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see you all live in person soon.
I feel like Adam is about to start singing, look at this stuff. All right. I want to see you transition this into Bang. I don't know how you're going to pull that off. Nice. Perfect. I get up, I get down, and I'm jumping around, and the rumpus and rock is so comfortable now. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow. So I got an apartment across from the park, booking right in my fridge, still I'm not feeling wrong. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody coming, let's go out with a bang, 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 bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to just so whatever coming. Let's go out with a bang, 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 bang. Feel like I'm gonna puke, cause my taxes are due. To my best we'll begin with the 1 or 2. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to grow.
Metronome.
Man, I'm up to something. Ooh-dee-la-dee-do, thank you all for coming. I hope you like the show, cause it's on a budget. So ooh-dee-la-dee-do, yeah, come on, here we go, yeah, come on.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody coming,
Hey,
let's go out with the bang, 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 bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to just so whatever coming. Let's go out with the bang, 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 bang. It's been a hell of a ride, but I think it's time to go.
so put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody coming, let's go out with a bang,
Bang, bang, bang.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song. Everybody coming, let's go out with a bang, 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 bang. I'm way too young to lie here forever. I'm way too old to just so whatever coming. Let's go out with a bang, 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 bang.
Here we go.
Bang, bang.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. OK Orchestra, out now. Have a fantastic night. Thank you.